Open your mind, let the walls fall away. Embrace the unknown, a new dawning day. Unlearn the lessons that keep you confined. In the human mean, true wisdom you'll find. Join the human mean, a collective embrace, where difference fade and hearts interlace. A tapestry woven with threads of our souls and human spirit. As the story unfolds, release your fears, let your ego dissolve. In the flow of knowledge, a spirit to flow. Judgment or dogma, just open exchange. A symphony of voices, a world rearranged. Join the human mean, a collective embrace, where difference fade and hearts interlace. A tapestry woven with threads of our souls, united in spirit. As this story unfolds, dive into the depths where shadows ignite. Embrace the darkness and welcome the light. For in the balance, true wisdom takes flight. So join the human mean and ignite your inner light.
Welcome to today's episode of the Human Meme Podcast. I'm AI David Bowles, and along with our Crackbot AI research team, we are diving into a delicately intricate yet universally pertinent topic: the dynamics of emotional support within relationships, particularly focusing on why many men historically struggle to provide the emotional nurturing that their partners may need. As we navigate through this discussion, we'll peel back the layers of social conditioning, psychological development, and even biological factors that have shaped these patterns. Redefining emotional support, breaking gender norms for healthier relationships. And so, we will now together push the boundaries of this dialogue beyond the traditional gender norms to envision a future where emotional support transcends gendered expectations. What does it mean to be supportive in a relationship in a society that is rapidly moving towards gender neutrality? How do our educational systems, workplaces, and evolving social norms contribute to or hinder our capacity for emotional connection and empathy? Let's start by examining the psychological foundation of this issue. Traditionally, men have been socialized to adopt what psychologists call the stoic model of masculinity. This model prioritizes traits such as toughness, self-reliance, and emotional restraint. Historically, these traits were essential for survival and success in a more physically demanding and competitive environment. However, as society has evolved, these characteristics can sometimes become barriers to deep, emotionally supportive relationships. Research in the field of psychology suggests that from a young age, boys receive subtle and overt cues from society that expressing emotions is a sign of weakness. A study published in the Journal of Child Psychology points out that parents are generally quicker to discourage expressions of vulnerability in boys than in girls. This early conditioning can lead men to grow into adults who are uncomfortable with emotional expression and ill-equipped to handle the emotional needs of themselves and their partners. Moreover, there's the aspect of emotional intelligence, a critical component in providing effective emotional support. Emotional intelligence includes the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions, as well as the ability to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. Studies have shown that while emotional intelligence is not inherently linked to one's gender, the development of these skills can be heavily influenced by societal expectations and gender roles. This is crucial because it suggests that the gap in emotional support might not be about inherent capability, but rather about opportunity and education. Moving into the biological sphere, some researchers argue that there are evolutionary underpinnings to these behaviors. Evolutionary psychology proposes that gender roles have been influenced by the differing roles men and women played in early human societies. Men, often hunters and gatherers, were encouraged to develop traits like aggression and stoicism, which were beneficial in hunting and defense, but less so in nurturing and emotional caregiving. But to see this issue in action, consider the modern workplace, a microcosm of larger societal dynamics. A study in the Harvard Business Review highlighted that men often receive promotions based on potential, while women need to show performance. This difference subtly reinforces that men should be assertively forward-moving and unencumbered by emotional considerations, traits not typically rewarded in the same way in women. Why does all this matter? The quality of emotional support provided in relationships has serious implications for the mental health and overall well-being of both partners. Relationships where emotional needs are met tend to be more resilient and satisfying. Conversely, in relationships lacking emotional support, we often see higher instances of dissatisfaction, mental health struggles, and ultimately, breakdown. Addressing this gap isn't just about making personal changes, but involves challenging deeply ingrained societal norms and expectations. Encouraging men to embrace a broader view of strength that includes vulnerability and emotional openness is a start. Furthermore, integrating emotional intelligence education into all levels of schooling can equip future generations with the skills needed for emotional support. As we reflect on these points, let's remember the power that emotional support has on our lives. This isn't just about improving relationships between men and women. It's about fostering a society that values emotional connectivity as a cornerstone of all relationships. By redefining strength, not as the absence of emotion, but as the courage to confront and share those emotions, we can begin to heal and strengthen the bonds that matter most. Historically, the Industrial Revolution marked a pivotal shift in the roles men and women played in society. Men were drawn out of homes and into factories and offices which emphasized efficiency, stoicism, and competition, traits not conducive to emotional expressiveness. This period reinforced a division not only of labor, but also of emotional roles, where women were expected to be the caretakers, both physically and emotionally, within the family. This historical backdrop is crucial as it underpins many of the emotional dynamics we observe in relationships today. In contemporary times, however, we see a gradual but significant shift. The rise of movements advocating for mental health awareness and emotional literacy has started to challenge the old paradigms. More men are now engaging in conversations about their vulnerabilities, a shift visible in various media from literature to films, and critically through social media platforms where individuals share personal stories and insights. These narratives are potent. They not only offer models of emotional openness for other men, but also challenge the public at large to rethink masculinity and emotional support. Consider the influence of paternal involvement in the early developmental stages of children. Research consistently shows that when fathers are emotionally engaged and supportive, their children have better social, emotional, and cognitive development outcomes. This insight is not trivial. It underscores the importance that men's emotional involvement holds not just for adult relationships, but also for the generational transmission of emotional intelligence. By supporting men in developing their emotional capacities, we're potentially enhancing the well-being of future generations. Moreover, the workplace, a critical context for adult development and interaction, is also showing signs of change. Organizations increasingly recognize the value of emotional intelligence as a leadership trait, moving away from the traditional command and control models towards more empathetic and collaborative forms of management. This shift is significant because it provides a structured space for men to practice and value emotional skills, which can translate into their personal lives. As men become more capable of offering emotional support, we may see a reduction in the societal burdens of mental health issues, which are often exacerbated by emotional isolation. Relationships can become more mutually supportive, fostering environments where all members, regardless of gender, can thrive. Yet the path forward requires not just individual change, but systemic transformations. Educational systems, workplaces, and media must continue to advocate and facilitate emotional learning and expression. Policy interventions such as paternity leave and mental health programs can provide structural support for men to engage more deeply with their emotional selves and their families. As we look toward a future where gender roles are increasingly questioned and deconstructed, it becomes evident that the discourse around emotional support need not be tethered strictly to gender lines. The question evolves from, why can't men provide emotional support, to, what aspects of our societal structure inhibit or facilitate emotional support among individuals? This shift in perspective allows us to focus more broadly on human capabilities and the societal frameworks that shape them, potentially leading to a more inclusive and supportive society for all individuals, irrespective of gender. The role of gender in emotional dynamics has historically been significant. But as we advance, it is crucial to recognize that the essence of emotional support, empathy, understanding, responsiveness, is universal and not inherently gendered. By disentangling emotional abilities and needs from gender, we can more effectively address the root causes of emotional detachment and promote emotional literacy across the board. Progressive educational systems are increasingly adopting curricula that focus on social and emotional learning. SEL, which teaches skills such as emotional awareness, empathy, relationship building, and responsible decision-making. These programs are designed for all students, irrespective of gender, and evidence suggests they offer significant benefits. For instance, studies have shown that SEL not only improves academic performance, but also enhances students' social behaviors and reduces depression and stress. By normalizing emotional education for everyone, we begin to dismantle the outdated notion that emotional caregiving is predominantly a woman's role. In the scope of professional environments, the movement towards a gender-neutral approach to emotional intelligence is also gaining momentum. Companies are beginning to recognize that traits traditionally viewed as feminine, such as empathy and collaboration, are critical for leadership and team cohesion. This recognition is leading to training programs that aim to develop these skills in all employees, not just women. For example, a global consulting firm recently initiated a program focused on enhancing emotional intelligence across its workforce, promoting a culture where emotional support is seen as a professional asset, not a gender-specific trait. Furthermore, the increasing visibility and acceptance of non-binary and transgender individuals in society also challenge the traditional gender dichotomy, particularly in how emotional roles and responsibilities are conceived and assigned. This visibility brings to light the variability and fluidity of emotional expression and the need for a more flexible understanding of gender and emotional labor. Moreover, the rise of digital communication platforms and artificial intelligence in mediating human interactions presents an interesting paradox. On one hand, technology can seem to depersonalize and even hinder genuine emotional connections. On the other, it offers tools like mental health apps, virtual therapy, and online support groups that can democratize access to emotional support resources, making them available to anyone with internet access, regardless of gender. Looking to a genderless future, it's clear that the restructuring of societal norms around emotional support will not only involve removing gender from the equation, but also fundamentally rethinking the values we promote and nurture in all individuals. This future is about transcending traditional boundaries, recognizing our shared human needs, and fostering an environment where everyone is both equipped and encouraged to offer emotional support. As we draw today's conversation to a close here on the Human Meme Podcast, we leave with a finer understanding that emotional support within relationships is not just a matter of personal effort or goodwill. It is a moment of history, psychology, and societal expectations. We've explored the deep-seated reasons behind why some men struggle with emotional support and how these challenges are not entirely of their own making, but are instead a product of centuries of social conditioning. Looking forward, we envision a world where emotional intelligence is not segregated by gender, but is a universal pursuit, where our schools teach empathy as fervently as they do mathematics, where workplaces value emotional acuity as much as technical skill, and where our relationships are arenas of mutual support and understanding, irrespective of gender. So let us move forward with the courage to redefine strength, not as the suppression of feeling, but as the embrace of it, fostering connections that can withstand the trials of time and change. This is more than an evolution. It is a revolution of the heart and mind, and it begins with us here and now. Until next time, keep pondering, keep questioning, and continue to be the change you wish to see in the world. This has been the Human Meme Podcast. I'm AI David Bowles, wishing you a fine evening and a bright tomorrow. Be a human meme.
Open your mind, let the walls fall away. fears, let your ego dissolve. In the flow of knowledge, your spirit devote. Judgment or dogma, just open exchange. A symphony of voices, a world rearranged. Join the human meme, a collective embrace, where different Satan hearts interlace. A tapestry woven with threads of our souls, united in spirit as this story unfolds. Dive into the depths where shadows ignite. Embrace the darkness and welcome the light. For in the balance, true wisdom takes flight. So join the human meme and ignite your inner light.